Hi everyone, it's Miss Brenner. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I know that it was a little bit windy this week, but we got more sunshine, so hopefully you got outside to get some fresh air. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about our week for April 27th through May 3rd for our participation activities and go over some of the expectations. So our agenda for this coming week, the same steps as before. I want you to either watch this video or go through the slides so that way you're aware of the different activities for the week, and then to complete 5 out of the 6 activities for this week's slide set. They will open at 10 a.m. on Monday, and then they close the following Monday at 8 a.m. So that would be they're opening the 27th at 10 a.m. and then closing Monday, May 4th at 8 a.m. I'm not going to go over the different grading procedures since I went over that in the last video. That video will still be available, so if you want to know about these slides more in detail, you can go and look at those. This is also the different grading ones, so also if you wanted to pause the video and read through it, you can do that as well. Alright, so a little bit about our activities. Activity 1 is an audio short story set. You will need to, in total, pick 2 short audio stories to listen to and analyze. So activities 1 and activity 4 are your pick 2 short stories. So for the first activity 1, you're going to pick one of these 3 short stories. You'll listen to it or read it using the PDF or audio link. You'll then copy and paste the questions for whichever story you chose for your first choice into the document for activity 1 and answer the questions. All right. Activity 2 is creative writing. You're going to pick an option from these that are available and write to me. You could write a poem about. Hi everyone, it's Miss Brenner. I just wanted to go over our agenda for this upcoming week. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I know it's a little bit windy, but the sun has been out, so hopefully you're getting some fresh air. As far as our different participation activities for the upcoming week of April 27th through May 3rd, it's the same expectations as the week prior. Step 1, that you watch or view the assignment slides for this week. Either you're watching this video right now, so you're already completing step 1, or you'll look at the slides come Monday. For step 2, then, you need to complete 5 out of the 6 activities for the week. The assignments open at 10 a.m. on Monday the 27th and then close May 4th at 8 a.m. The reason they have to close on Monday is so that way Schoology can save and upload the grades to home access. So if you have any questions about that, please get in contact with me. If you're having any difficulties with the activities, please get in contact with me. We will have our 3 regularly scheduled Zoom meetings this upcoming week then. You are welcome to come to any of them. You'll get an individual email about those links. As far as the different grading procedures, you can pause the video and read over these if you'd like. I'm not going to go over them in detail. I went over them in detail in the last video. So if you want to hear it again, you can go back to that video. All of the videos prior will still be available along with the assignments. So in Schoology, your page probably looks something like this, with your assignments popping up over here on the side, and then the folder around the top along with my office hours. Right now, you cannot visibly see the 27th through the 3rd of May's folder. This will move to the top when it is available to see on the 27th at 10 a.m. and this folder will move to the bottom. You can still click on it, it will still be visible, but it will move so that way there's no confusion about what folder you should be clicking on. All right. Let's talk a little bit about our activities. Activity 1 is audio short stories. So in total, you will pick 2 different short stories for 2 of the activities for this week. For activity 1, you're picking your first choice out of these 3 stories. Story 1 is The Jaunt by Stephen King. This story has some adult language. If that does not make you comfortable, I do not recommend this short story option. However, it is probably the scariest short story we will read in this unit. So if you are looking for a thriller, I highly recommend this short story. Red Card, which is not quite as typical of a horror story. It's still frightening, but there's no adult language in it. So if you are looking for something that is, safe, this would be that option. And then there's Graveyard Shift by Stephen King. This one also has adult language. If you need a second option without adult language in it, please contact me. I will find you another story. Do not feel that you have to listen to something that you find inappropriate. Just talk to me. But these are our 3 different options for short stories for this upcoming week. So the links to the PDFs are available along with audio. Once you pick your first short story, let's say you chose Red Card, you would go through, there are questions for each of the stories. You would copy and paste the questions for the story that you chose. So if we said we chose Red Card, we would copy and paste these questions into the activity for Activity 1 and answer them there. And that would get us our point for Activity 1. Activity 2 is creative writing. You have several options for this upcoming week. You're going to pick one of these options to write about, whether it is using your favorite song as inspiration for a short story, or maybe you would like to describe a setting for a short story that you've been envisioning in your head for quite some time, whether that's going to be like a magical school, or maybe it's your average small town in the United States, or a haunted pizza place. Wherever you would like to set your story, you're going to tell me a little bit, give me like a tour of your setting. You could create a short story about a robot that wants to be more like the people it helps. Or you could write a story about your favorite adventure or experience you had when you were a young adult or young child. Activity 3 is silent reading. We're going to have a discussion post again this week for silent reading. So I'm asking that you read for 60 minutes any kind of form of literature that you would choose. You could break that into segments of 30 minutes twice this week, or 4 segments of 15 minutes, whichever you would like. Our discussion is to tell us about what you are reading. Why did you choose this book or this piece of literature to read? And who is your favorite character in the story? If it's nonfiction, give us a little bit more detail as to what exactly about this topic interests you and piqued your interest in the first place. Activity 4 is the second half of the audio short stories. So you already picked your first choice and you already answered the questions for the first choice in Activity 1. In Activity 4, you're going to pick your second choice out of these 3 stories, or you will send me an email asking if you could have a 4th choice, and answer the question. So you're going to, let's say you pick the jaunt this time, you're going to copy and paste the questions for the jaunt into the activity for Activity 4, and you'll answer those questions there and submit it. You would then get your 1 point for Activity 4. Activity 5 is news articles. So depending upon your interests, I know some of you are very curious about what's happening in the government right now, what's happening scientifically as far as coming up with some form of vaccine or treatment for the coronavirus. However, please don't feel that you have to research those kinds of topics. You could research about sports right now. A lot is happening in the sports industry. The NFL draft was yesterday. And so maybe you want to research something about how sports is going to recover from this economic shutdown. You can research a lot of different topics. All I want you to do is to tell the class about what you read, include the name of the article, the author, and the link to share the findings, and tell us about your opinion about what you read or listened to. Here are some different links as per usual, but you can also go to other sources. And then Activity 6 is our horror story analysis. So you've already looked up what makes a monster, watched the notes, did your own research. I want you to tell us which story did you find most enjoyable and why you found it interesting. So out of the 2 that you listened to, out of the 3 options for Activities 1 and 4, which story did you find the most enjoyable? And just explain why. I'd also like you to compare these stories to your favorite horror novel Maybe it's a short story or film. What is similar and what is different? Maybe you're a huge Freddy Krueger fan. And if that's the case, tell me what you really enjoy about that film series versus what's happening in our short stories. And that would be our discussion for Activity 6. Those are all of our activities for this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. You can also come to our Zoom meetings. I believe I'm set them up already. They should be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week at 10 a.m. You'll get an email with links to all 3 of the different Zoom meetings then. Please feel free to stop by if you have any questions or if you just want to chat. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. I miss you and I can't wait till I get to see you again. Bye.